Let's see if we can try that again, but without the fail. There we go. I often find that in a lot of games, water is one of the most annoying things to come across. I do know that being simply up to your knees in water, or possibly even up to your waist in water, is enough to slow you down. I absolutely know that. I've actually been in situations where I've had to cross water in those situations during floods and whatever else, and it is absolutely true. You will end up. This is not going to work for me. you will end up slowing down, but I find that a lot of games will overemphasize that. They will cause you to slow, not like a quarter speed or even, you know, maybe an eighth speed or something. They will actually have you slow down to the point where it becomes uncomfortable to play the game. You no longer are enjoying what you're doing. You're now being forced to fight your character, and you feel like you're not traveling through water as much as you're traveling through molasses or something similar. And Limbo does an okay job. Anything higher than your neck, you're probably just going to drown. Simple as that. But anything lower than that, you know, depending on how high it is, it does an okay job of making sure that you can move fast enough not to be annoying, not to be a detriment to the game. Okay, I don't remember if I have to jump here. There it is. This puzzle has always been difficult, mostly because you have to, I believe you squeeze the bubble. I may have actually screwed this up. Oh no, there it is. That's what it was. I needed to drop the door before it fell. Otherwise, I am going to drown. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to reset this puzzle the hard way. That animation is actually, I won't say it's a comforting animation. It absolutely is not. You're watching a small child drown. That should not be a comfortable thing at all. But it's less violent than you'd expect. You see a lot of films where people are drowning and they're flailing and they're trying to breathe and reach the surface and they're grabbing things. And I've been in a position where I have, in fact, seen that and been part of that. Not at the same time, thankfully, but I have had situations where I have been trapped underwater forcibly, and you do flail. You absolutely do. It's automatic. You can't stop it. There's no way you can be brave in that situation. You can't say, well, if I were drowning, I would never flail. I'd be a man and just take it. Your body wants to live, and your brain knows how to make it happen. You are going to flail. Watching that animation with the kid where he just kind of lifts his arms and then lays back and all the air rushes out. I'm not sure if you could consider that sort of a punishment for your action. You failed to protect me. Here's your punishment. You get to watch me drown, you know, sadly and without any kind of foo-for-all or fanfare. I'm just gonna lay down and be dead. And it's kind of against what you currently see in the game. You know, you're rushing through all this to find your sister and to do what you need to do and get where you need to go. But at the same time, it works. This game is all about muted tones. Everything in it is muted. Every death. You would figure a violent death would be associated with a violent scream. I'm about to die. Oh God, what do I do? Or alternatively, I am dying. What am I going to do? I need to flail. I need to jump. I need to scream. I need to let the world know that something bad is happening to me. Oh God, save me. But instead, you get this kid who takes it silently. You know, no noise, no squeaking, no screaming, just silence. And I'm not entirely sure that was going to work for me. No, it was not. And you have to wonder, does that mean that I don't care? You know, does it mean that there's a possibility that I don't even care that this kid is now dead? Okay, I forget how to do this puzzle. It's going to take me a minute. Or, you know, you figure, oh, you hear someone screaming, but maybe not. Maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's not, oh, I hear someone screaming. Ah, there you go. That's probably not going to cut it. I've seen other games where that situation has come up, where people have screamed, you know, help me, help me, help me, I'm dying, please, someone help me, and I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give anything away, because I did have a situation in the recent release of Walking Dead that was similar to that, and you know, you ask yourself, what would I do in that situation? But you know, in this case, you're the kid. You are the kid. There's nothing you can do. If people were screaming and yelling, it would just be a sound effect. It wouldn't be anything important or anything in particular. But in other games where someone else is screaming, do you help them? Do you hurt them? Do you ignore them? Are you the one making them scream? I've seen games, even in the most recent Guild Wars 2. Oops, damn it. Guild Wars 2, there's a race of creatures that when they die, and they're on fire, they make the most horrendous death sounds. I'm not sure if it's their standard death sound, if that's the sound they always make, or if it just happens to be the sound they make when they're on fire. But it's actually a very disconcerting sound. It makes me wish that when they were taken out, when I destroyed them or killed them, that they wouldn't make that sound. And it makes me wonder that in games where fire or acid or other types of non-instantaneous death devices exist, what kind of person are you when you play those games? Do you torture your victims? Do you try to show mercy? I've always tried to show mercy of some kind. And not just because they make squeaky loud, crazy noises, but honestly because it's what I would want. And I mean, that may sound silly when you're playing a video game. It's like, oh, it's a video game. Who cares? I don't have any feelings. You reload the level and they respawn. Who cares? What kind of crap is that? But honestly, if you go through life thinking that, oh, it's just a video game, maybe that's true. Maybe that means that you treat a real person like that if the situation came up. Or honestly, maybe you absolutely wouldn't. Maybe it's against your personality. Your personality is one where it's like, oh, I would never treat another human being that way. If they were on fire, I'd put them out. If it was too late, I'd just put them out of their misery. And, okay, sure, that's fine. But and I have to admit, I'm not perfect when it comes to video games. There are times when I also will torture my victims. There will be games where I will, shoot a corpse in the head because he irritated me. That was not the brightest thing I could have done. I'll shoot a corpse in the head because he irritated me. If a new game comes out and there's some new kind of physics where it's like, oh, you can cut off their limbs when they're dead, or something similar like that, I might take one of the first or second bodies I find and try it out. But I'm not going to repeatedly stab a guy in the leg because he makes a screaming sound whenever I do. It's pointless and it's mean and just it makes absolutely no sense to do that. I don't know if I'm gonna. No, I am not. And I had such plans. That's poor timing. Okay, I think this test run is over. I very much doubt I'm ever going to upload this video. I probably will watch it 7 or 8 times because I am narcissistic and I so do enjoy the sound of my own voice. Uh, but I absolutely am not going to upload it. I may do a realistic Let's Play for this game. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot to say about Limbo. It is a fun, entertaining, extremely artistic game, but it is not something that you can say, hey, well, here's a graphics issue, or here's a gameplay issue, or here's something that I think that you would like to try or you should try. It's mostly a game that you say, I'm going to play Limbo and I'm going to get through it, and maybe I'm going to set myself a personal challenge where I won't die this time, or at least I won't die at that one place where I consistently get myself killed because I'm not paying attention or my timing is off or whatever. I was hoping to, after my Sniper Elite setup, I was hoping to run some indie games. Whether it be things like World of Goo, which was one of the first indie games that I remember becoming big. It was also one of the first indie games I ever played. I even played the beta that was made a very long time ago, back when it was just Tower of Goo. But unfortunately, with indie games, they're very simplistic. They are in fact so simplistic to the point of being difficult to just make a let's play out of, instead of a, well, let's blind play or let's scream like a lunatic. as the saying Tobuscus happened to have to do with Slender, because if you were to try to play Slender just straight up, you know, without any kind of just by commenting, I mean, what are you going to comment about? Oh, here's a page. Oh, here's a room. Oh, you know, here's a thing. And yeah, I mean, that works, but it'd be a very boring thing to listen to. I don't think it'd be much better than my current nonsensical rantings regarding I Am So Dead. Alright, let me go ahead and stop there. Absolutely stop there. That is going to be my last death for this game. I think this poor kid needs a break. I mean, I know that if I were being controlled by a megalomaniac with a 360 controller on a PC trying to tell people how games should be made or how they should be played, I'd get kind of annoyed if he kept getting my head crushed too. So, would like to thank you very much for joining me for this test and waste of time. I'm hoping that when I review this, I'm not breathing constantly into the microphone or, you know, setting high marks on loud noises. If I do upload this, I apologize. I apologize in advance, absolutely. Unfortunately, I'm not a very funny guy, so I can't turn something like this into comedy gold. I am actually a very philosophical guy, so you will hear me go on and on and on about the meaning of life and how it portrays in artistic games. So, you have yourself a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time.